Dubai's skyline glimmers under the late autumn sun as the aviation world converges once again on the Dubai Airshow, one of the most influential gatherings in global aerospace. On the opening morning, the pace is already electric. Aircraft roar overhead, delegations fill the halls, and the world's biggest manufacturers, airlines and defence clients move from meeting to meeting with brisk urgency. But within minutes of the show's official start, one announcement rises above all others, signalling the scale of ambition that defines this region's aviation vision. Emirates, the largest airline in the Middle East and one of the most influential carriers in global commercial aviation, confirms a landmark order that instantly becomes the headline of the day. The airline reveals it has placed an order for 65 Boeing 777X aircraft, an expansion valued at $38 billion. It is a figure that reverberates across the showgrounds, strengthening the Dubai Airshow's reputation as a marketplace where deals of staggering size are not rare, but expected. Inside the conference hall, cameras capture the arrival of Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, the longtime leader of Emirates and one of the most recognizable figures in global aviation. Walking toward the press conference area, he is calm, composed, and visibly prepared for an announcement of enormous scale. Reporters shift forward, equipment is adjusted, and the room falls into a focused silence as he takes his position under the bright lights. A few minutes later, he begins with a clear, steady tone, delivering the confirmed figures that Boeing and industry observers have been anticipating all morning. He says, "Today, I am pleased to announce that Emirates has ordered 65 additional Boeing 777-9 aircraft and 130 additional GE 9X engines. This deal is worth $38 billion. The quote confirms months of expectation that Emirates would dramatically increase its commitment to the Boeing 777X program. The order also reconfirms Emirates' role as the largest customer for the 777X family, a new generation of long-haul aircraft Boeing has positioned as the future backbone of global wide-body fleets. The 777-9, with its composite wings and stretched fuselage, is designed to deliver more passengers, greater fuel efficiency, and long-range capability that allows airlines to connect distant cities with fewer stops. Sheikh Ahmed continues formally, speaking with the clarity of a man who has overseen one of the most ambitious fleet expansions in modern aviation history. He adds, "This means that Emirates now has a total of 315 Boeing aircraft on order, including our 777Xs, freighters, and Dreamliners." For industry analysts seated in the room, the figure is staggering but not surprising. Emirates has built its identity around large twin-engine long-haul aircraft capable of moving hundreds of passengers across continents with the directness and efficiency that Dubai's geographic location allows. Its hub-and-spoke model, centred at Dubai International Airport, remains one of the most successful implementations of this strategy. Massive long-haul aircraft feed even larger waves of global connectivity, connecting Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Americas through a single airport. And it is not just about aircraft. The engines mentioned in the order, the GE9X units manufactured by GE Aerospace, are themselves the largest and most advanced commercial engines ever produced. Sheikh Ahmed underscores this, continuing, "This is a long-term commitment that supports hundreds of thousands of high-value manufacturing jobs, and it reinforces our 40-year partnership with Boeing and GE." The remark is more than ceremonial. It reflects the deeply intertwined economic, technical, and industrial relationships that the aviation sector relies on. Boeing's 777X program has involved a sprawling network of suppliers, from composite wing production facilities in the United States to component manufacturers across Europe and Asia. The investment in such a program only becomes sustainable when flagship customers like Emirates make repeated large-scale commitments. This order, worth $38 billion, offers a powerful boost for Boeing at a time when global manufacturers are navigating competitive pressures, regulatory scrutiny, and economic uncertainties. As Sheikh Ahmed signs the agreement with Boeing representatives, cameras capture the moment. It is a scene repeated throughout the airshow, but few deals match this one in size or symbolic weight. The signing itself becomes emblematic of the UAE's continued confidence in its national airline and in the long-term growth of global travel. But the Emirates leader takes a moment to address the concerns that often accompany large-scale fleet decisions. He says, "Some people may have doubts about Emirates' huge backlog of aircraft orders, but I assure you that each and every aircraft on order has been carefully factored into Emirates' growth plans. It is a deliberate response to industry commentary. Observers have long debated whether Emirates' ambitious backlog, which includes not only Boeing widebodies but also Airbus aircraft, might exceed what the airline can absorb. But Emirates has consistently argued that its planning is strategic, long-term and responsive to global demand trends. The Emirates fleet has a disciplined cycle of renewal, retirement and expansion that keeps the airline's average aircraft age comparatively low and its operational efficiency high. Beyond the press conference and the signature ceremony, the announcement signals several major implications for the wider industry. First, it strengthens Boeing's position at a time when the manufacturer is competing intensively with Airbus for long-haul market dominance. The Airbus A350 family has been gaining traction worldwide, and some had expected Emirates to balance its wide-body orders more evenly. Instead, the airline's choice to deepen its reliance on the 777X places Boeing firmly at the center of Emirates' future second. The commitment demonstrates confidence in long-haul travel recovery. While global aviation has largely rebounded from the pandemic, the real test for airlines is in intercontinental travel, where wide-body aircraft operate at high cost but generate high revenue when passengers return in sustained numbers. Emirates seems confident that demand will not only remain strong but grow significantly over the coming decade. With Dubai hosting major global events, expanding tourism and increasing its role as a regional business hub, the airline's strategy aligns with the UAE's broader economic vision. Third, the order speaks directly to the technological future of aviation. The 777-9 is expected to carry over 400 passengers, offering the efficiency of twin-engine design with the range flexibility that used to be the domain of four-engine aircraft. Emirates, which once relied heavily on the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo, is gradually shifting toward twin-engine giants that can operate similar missions with lower fuel burn and reduced emissions. Inside the airshow grounds, the public reaction is immediate. Aviation enthusiasts, analysts and media outlets begin dissecting the implications of Emirates' order. For Boeing teams present in Dubai, the announcement brings renewed momentum to their showcase. The 777X test aircraft displayed outdoors becomes a focal point, drawing crowds eager to examine the model that will form the core of Emirates' next-generation fleet. Meanwhile, the UAE government highlights the wider economic impact. The aerospace sector supports tens of thousands of jobs in the Emirates and strengthens the country's position as a global aviation and logistics hub. Emirates' investment reinforces Dubai's identity as a gateway city, one that depends on seamless international mobility, global tourism, and a competitive airline anchored in modern technology. This announcement also strengthens the partnership between the United States and the United Arab Emirates. Especially in the field of aerospace cooperation, Boeing's presence in the region has grown steadily, and the company's relationship with Emirates is often cited as one of the most strategically important in commercial aviation. The GE9X engine order further deepens the industrial involvement of American companies in the region's aviation landscape. As the day continues, journalists seek reactions from industry experts. Many highlight that Emirates' confidence in the 777X program could influence other airlines considering future wide-body orders. The aircraft has faced developmental delays, mostly related to certification requirements and technical refinements. A high-profile endorsement from Emirates could inject renewed momentum into the program. Others comment on the timing. With rising demand for long-haul travel and a wave of aging aircraft set to retire globally, airlines are preparing for a capacity crunch. Emirates' early positioning gives it a competitive advantage when the next wave of long-range aircraft begins entering service. At the Airshow's outdoor static display, engineers walk visitors through the 777X's distinct folding wingtips, a feature designed to maximize aerodynamic performance while allowing the massive aircraft to fit into standard airport gates. The aircraft's size, efficiency and innovation reflect Boeing's long-term investment in wide-body technology. Emirates, through this announcement, signals that it will continue to place these aircraft at the center of its global strategy. Back inside the exhibition hall, conversations shift toward fleet planning. Aviation analysts note that Emirates' order book now extends well into the 2030s. The scale of this planning requires long-range forecasting, predicting travel demand, fuel costs, regulatory changes and global economic conditions years in advance. Emirates has historically excelled in such forecasting, building a network that captured transit traffic between emerging markets long before many competitors recognized its potential. The order also reflects a reality unique to the Gulf region: limited domestic traffic, but enormous international demand due to geographic positioning. Dubai sits at the crossroads of Europe, Asia and Africa, enabling Emirates to operate long-haul flights that feed into each other with remarkable efficiency. That model requires a modern, reliable, wide-body fleet, and the new 777-9 aircraft are expected to play a critical role. As the day progresses, the scale of the announcement influences conversations in every corner of the airshow. Delegates from Africa, Asia and Europe discuss what the deal means for market competition. Other manufacturers study the potential ripple effects, and suppliers, from engine component companies to in-flight service providers, recognise that such a massive expansion of Emirates' fleet will create opportunities across every segment of the aerospace supply chain. In the late afternoon, as crowds continue circulating through the massive exhibition halls, the significance of the announcement becomes clearer. It marks not only a commercial decision, but a signal of long-term confidence. Confidence in Dubai's growth, in global travel demand, in aviation innovation, and in the economic partnership between the UAE and the United States. Sheikh Ahmed's remarks continue circulating across global media, especially his assurance that every aircraft in Emirates' backlog fits into a structured growth plan. It is a reminder that Emirates, despite its size, sees its fleet not as a symbol of expansion for its own sake, but as a meticulously designed tool to shape global connectivity. As evening approaches, the Airshow's opening day concludes with industry events, meetings and receptions. But throughout the venue, the dominant story remains clear. Emirates has reshaped the narrative of this year's Dubai Airshow in one sweeping announcement: a $38 billion investment, 65 new Boeing 777X aircraft, and a reaffirmation of a 40-year partnership. Together, they mark a defining moment not only for the airline, but for the future of long-haul aviation. The deal strengthens Boeing's outlook, adds momentum to the 777X program, expands Emirates' long-term vision, and reinforces Dubai's position at the heart of the global aviation map. And it sends a clear message that the era of ambitious fleet building is far from over. For Emirates, the skies ahead remain expansive, and the airline is preparing its next generation of aircraft to meet them.
Our head table. We have, of course, His Highness.
We will also have a total of 540 GE9.
All right. Thank you very much. This concludes our office.
So today, I'm pleased to announce that Emirates has ordered 65 additional Boeing 777-9 aircraft and 130 additional GE9X engine. This deal is worth $38 billion. This means that Emirates now has a total of 315 Boeing aircraft on order, including our 777Xs, freighters and Dreamliners. It's a long-term commitment that supports hundreds of thousands of high-value manufacturing jobs, and it reinforces our 40-year partnership with Boeing and GE. Some people may have doubt about Emirates' huge backlog of aircraft order, but I assure you that each and every one of our aircraft on order has been carefully factored into Emirates' growth plans.